GPS, right? There's a lot of, like, your phones typically don't work without cell reception, but you can download apps, so they still do. This is called a Garmin Fortrex. Garmin makes a lot of really nice things. Right, this thing you can navigate pretty much everywhere. Everybody who's deployed on the ground pretty much carries these things. Again, it runs on AA batteries. So then you have to carry AA batteries. It runs out of batteries, and if you don't know how to navigate using a map, which we'll talk about tomorrow, you're kind of not going to be very happy when the battery runs out and you don't know where you are. This is a signal light. This is a standard signal light. It's got a lot of really cool options. So you flip it up like here. That thing can be seen from 30 miles away. From aircraft like this, right? Everybody can see me. The problem is bad guys, right, can also see. So you can see this little cover.
Wait, like, they can see the light?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean anybody can see this, right?
From 30 miles away.
Yeah, probably 30 miles away. If I point this like this, easily 30 miles away. Yeah.
Did the guys you were trying to keep away from, did they have NVGs?
They did. They did.
Can they see that with the naked eye?
Yeah, so you can see this with a naked eye, right? But look, so you see this cover? There's an on and off switch right here. See that? Off, doesn't blink. On, it blinks. It's also got this weird cover. When I cover like this, is it off?
No.
No. What is it doing?
It's blinking.
It's blinking, but why? What?
Well,
do you
why
think,
is the cover
can you see
if
it?
you just turn it off?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? Why is there a
I know.
cover when you wouldn't turn it on? It's still on, but there's a cover.
NVGs, right?
Yeah. So this is actually a little cover that only lets light that you can see through an NVG and night vision goggle. You can cover it up. So if you know, because you thought about it, that the bad guys don't have night vision goggles, but the good guys do, you can turn it on with this little cover on it, and then go like this, and they can still see you from about 20 miles away. Yeah.
Can they see it if it's like in your pocket or in your coat?
No, they can't really. Like this. But here, look at this. What if nobody's got NVGs, good guys or bad guys, right? Then what do? Right? You got this blinking thing. You don't want to hold it over your head because all the bad guys will see you, right? You could pop it out like this, look, and then it goes blue, and then look, it only can you guys see it over here? Yeah, can you guys see it? No, right? Because the light only goes in one direction. So then if you know where the good guys are, you can point it out like this way and then point it in one direction so that everybody over here doesn't see it, but then everybody that you're pointing at can see it, okay? So, ooh, wow, all these cool things, right? Like all this technology and all this stuff. I'll tell you guys, none of this stuff means anything if you don't have two things. One, if you don't think about what you're gonna bring before you bring, and then everything that you bring, you've practiced using a lot of times, right? And you're very, very familiar. Like you could do it with one arm broken with your eyes closed in a rainstorm, and you can make it work, right? Because a lot of times, like especially when you're flying fast jets, when you eject, it doesn't always go so well. So there's plenty of stories where guys eject and like their legs broken or their arms broken or both, you know. And so you got to be able to do things in extremis, right? And so if you don't know how to use it really, really well, it's not going to help you. Yeah. What's the second thing? Water. Yes. I like where your head's at. Absolutely. Yeah, Luke.
I know it's different about the jungle and the desert.
What?
Like, you know how there's like lots of poisonous food in the
Jungle?
yeah.
Yes, sir.
And there's like nearly any food in the
Desert.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Right. So there's a lot of things in the jungle that you could eat that look good, but they're probably not going to be good. Yeah.
The jungle's also really dangerous.
Yeah. Why is it dangerous?
Because the predator looks really nice.
Yeah.
But they're really like if you touch them, they kind of bite your whole hand off.
So what kind of things would you do to get ready if you were flying over the jungle or you were driving a Jeep through the jungle and you knew that something bad could happen? What kind of things you would use?
Really special
Yeah.
water and food.
Yeah. So guys, God has made you the way you are for a reason, right? Your job in the family when you grow up is to take care of these kinds of things for your family, right? And so if you are driving the car, right, with the family and it's dark and you're in somewhere you don't know, the time to be ready for something bad to happen is not when you're driving the car, it's before you leave. Every single one of your dads does that every single day, okay? And someday it will be your job, okay? And so if you've got questions like, hey dad, what do you do with the car before you know you're gonna go on a 15-hour drive, right? You change the oil, you know, you do check the tire pressure, right? You do all these little things, right? So it's all about preparation. right? So prepare, think about it beforehand, and then like we said, we'll wrap it up like we talked about with Mr. Sonny and Evan, right? Having somebody that you're with, the people that you spend your life with, that is the most important decision you can make in your life. Yeah, go ahead.
It's also like, don't be like crazy prepared guy, because if you do, like sometimes if you bring too much stuff, then you'll end up having to carry a ton of stuff.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
drop it off or just like get
So
yourself out.
who's ever hiked when you're carrying too much stuff? Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, I do that too, because I like have all this stuff and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, I'm gonna bring this. This is awesome, I'm gonna bring this. You have to prepare so much that you actually put everything that you have on and then walk around really, really far and see if it's too much, or see what pocket I should put this in this pocket or this in this pocket, right? That's the kind of preparation you should do. And I guarantee you, I think there's a couple of dads here that have been in actual combat scenarios. I'll tell you, when I was in Afghanistan on the ground, I carried way too much on my first couple of patrols, and it was heavy, and I was like, I'm never gonna be able to make this. So you look at a picture of me from the first month that I was out there running around, I had all this stuff on me. The last month, I was basically naked. You know what I mean? I was like a crazy person. Just a rifle and a radio, right? And so, yeah, typically, you're not going to bring something, right? So with the things that you do bring, they have to be very, very intentional. And all of that means preparation, okay? So the last thing I was going to say, who you spend your life with, gentlemen, is the most important decision that you can make in your life. So Evan's dad is one of the most impressive, strongest men I've ever had the chance to spend time with, and the fact that I was in this situation with him was the biggest blessing that God could have ever given me for those 3 days, okay? The same kind of decisions that you make with who you decide for your life is equally important. I promise you, you will either benefit forever or you will struggle forever if you make a quick decision, okay? So think about those kinds of decisions more than any of these things. The person and the people that God is calling you to connect with, those are the kind of decisions that are going to help you when you're in a survival scenario, whether it's in the desert or just in school or anything else. All right, so I think that's everything I have. Does anybody have any questions? Anything else? Yeah.
What happens if you don't have any
Food, any stuff to eat? That's a really good question. So if you've got water, right, and you're not going to be freezing to death or burning up, how long did I say you could live with no food?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, right?
And
You can get out of here for 3
21
weeks.
days.
Yeah, 21 days is the same as 3 weeks. Good job. So how long do you think it would take to walk back to the gas station that we stopped at?
2 days.
2 days. So if you had water, do you think you can make it without food going back to the gas station?
No.
Yeah, you could. With water, you could, right? You could walk back there.
No.
And then you could find your sense. So you don't have to survive forever, right? And so those are the kind of things you want to think about. If I got in a situation that everybody but me disappeared from this campfire right now and there was no cars, what would I do, right? What would you do? What do you think?
Collect resources.
Yeah, but where would you go? Would you stay here? Would you stay put? Where would you go?
Water.
Yeah, everybody
Closest
but you
place.
disappeared. There's no cars. There's no fire. You have no food.
Closest place with water and resources.
Yeah. So where is that?
Gas station.
How do you get there?
Highway.
Point towards it. Yeah, right? So navigating, we're going to learn more about that tomorrow. So that's why navigating is so important. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Yeah.
Or if you had nothing with you, like none water or anything, you could pray to God.
Yes. Well, that would be probably step one, right? Step one, thank you for putting me in this challenging situation so I can grow as a human being like Evan was talking about. Step two, let me clear my mind so that I can listen and you can actually tell me how strong you made me, right? In your image, and then you can lead me out of this situation, right? It's a very, very good point. What else, guys? Any final thoughts? Luke, oh man. Even if, so what I think